was kind of like a one-man mission that was never really going to succeed. I grew up in Accra, the capital of Ghana, Greater Accra region, in a tiny place near the coast called Sakumono. I lived in a gated community with my mom, my dad, my older brother, and about 3 or 4 dogs. I lived, thankfully, in a safe area, so though there were quite a few robberies in the country, not so much in my area and not so much in my estate. I went to 2 American schools. The first one, I was there from preschool all the way to the middle of the first grade. And from the middle of the first grade up until I graduated high school, I was in the same school. It was an okay school. I've said to many of my family and friends that I think over time I started to like the school a lot less, because as it grew, it started off as a small school, obviously, and I joined when it was pretty small. But as it grew, it became more and more strict, and I guess it was not as enjoyable anymore. And by the end, I was desperate to graduate. I'd say my motivation for pursuing higher education in the United States is built on 2 foundations. The first one is a lot of the Ghana economy is not the best, so a lot of people who start out in Ghana and then go elsewhere around the world to further their education very rarely ever come back to Ghana, because it's more of a step back than a step forward or even a sideways step. So very, very few specialists in the country in any field, really. So it was kind of a no-brainer to me in that aspect. And the other aspect was I was born in Maryland, Baltimore, and most of my family lives in America, so I feel like it was always a plan to come back to America. So I started here, spent pretty much my whole upbringing in Ghana, and the plan was always to come back, which I did. I'd say I started playing football in Ghana from the first grade. I played recreationally during breaks, after school, at home, with cousins, family, friends, all the way up until maybe the 6th grade, when I started to take it seriously. I started practicing more, started trying to get better, understand the sport more, just be of more use to the rest of the team, and the squad in general. The school, I always made the school team. That was never an issue. And the school would often play into school tournaments, and every time our school would go to the tournament, we would do bad. We'd practice weeks in advance, have strategies, formations, layouts of how we wanted to play and succeed, and then get to the tournament and sort of just crumble under the pressure. We would abandon all the things we had practiced, just capitulate entirely. And I felt let down more often than not by my team, because when I played, I felt like I had the mentality and the drive and the determination to win, no matter who we played against, no matter how much bigger they were than me or the rest of the team. I always looked at it like we would win because I had faith in what we practiced. But I was always let down by the team because the coach never had a set 11 that he wanted to go with that would always win. He was always changing, and the school was always changing coaches as well. So there was never really a set system in place to help us succeed. I think my teammates were always intimidated by the opposition. They would crumble under the pressure and kind of forget what the original game plan was, and from there it would spiral till we didn't do any of the things we practiced and then lose over and over and over again. I definitely say that though I was confident about my own abilities, I was definitely not ready for a team system. I never inspired anybody else on the team. I never needed any inspiration from anyone else on the team. I was kind of like a one-man mission that was never really going to succeed. But whereas I had confidence in myself, I felt like the rest of the team lacked it, and I couldn't transfer that onto anybody. I wasn't the kind of leader to inspire anyone else. And I'd say once I graduated and came to RPI, that definitely changed. Here at RPI, I felt like I had teammates who were just as determined as me, just as focused as me in wanting to win, even though I didn't train or see them as much as I did with my teammates in Ghana. Where they seemed to lack the ambition and the drive to win as much as I did, I felt the complete opposite here at RPI, and I felt like that boosted my confidence and made me more assured in my teammates, and therefore kind of passed the same energy onto them without even trying to or without even forcing myself to. And that kind of uplifted us all, and in effect helped us reach a level where we could build off of kind of like a mainstay, a standard that we could just continuously improve as we were all pushing in the same direction. I definitely don't think I'm at the best level I could be. It's the best I've ever been, but there's still more to reach. I feel like I could do way more. I currently train every day in the gym by myself just to continuously improve and get better. And any chance I can get to get on the field and just practice, I will, to uplift my game and be of better use to the team. I feel like this is just the beginning. I am now more of a leader in the team, though I am not the leader. I am more of a presence in the team. I definitely feel like my influence it's there and present and helps the rest of the team as much as they help me to succeed. But I think the saving grace I've had for myself that I think is very important is at every step of the way, I've always believed in myself. I've always believed in my ability. I've always believed in my willingness to achieve my potential. I've always given 110%. I've always done the necessary things to better myself. And I feel like more than just physical is also mental. I've tried to keep myself in a good headspace because I definitely believe more than anything that once the mind is right, the rest will work itself out. And once I've been able to keep my mental on a smooth sailing plane where I'm never too happy by the success I get and I'm never too down by the failures that come along the way, I'm always at a level playing field. That helps me to keep my focus and strive on for better. And I definitely think if there's anything you should take from this is to believe in yourself, but also have that mental checker that makes sure you are always at the perfect level mentally, and that therefore allows you to do your best in whatever you do. Once it's right up here, the rest will work itself out without a doubt.
So do you remember your first day at Galaxy, your first school?
No, I actually don't. I don't remember the first day there. I remember... Yeah, go on.
So I remember clearly when we took you to the early childhood and we were wondering, are you going to stay? Are you going to cry? There were other kids crying. What's he going to do? And I remember we took you and you saw the sand pit and you were in there and you didn't even look back. And it was like you were into it and I was left standing. I'm thinking, what am I doing here? So then I left. But I think you liked it a lot, did you? What did you like about Galaxy actually?
Yeah, I think my favorite
Do you
times.
remember?
I think my favorite times were like playing around and then lunch breaks and all of those things. Like just a lot of the time I spent out of the class. Just
was more enjoyable.
Yeah.
But did you remember the sports days? Do you remember the sports day when the parents had to take part and I fell? Do you remember?
So I don't remember that. I don't remember that.
I was leading and I was almost at the line and I fell flat on my back. And I remember you running to me and helping me up with the teachers and said, it's all right. I've never felt so embarrassed in my life. That was the last time I attempted to run with parents at the sports day. So he was very good with athletics as well. But then somewhere along the line, and I don't know why, but he sort of took a back seat with that and went more into the soccer. And he's very skillful in my view about soccer, how he plays soccer. And very fast on his feet as well. And he used to be very tiny, like skinny, really. So he'd just be weaving in amongst you wouldn't even see him. He just appears from nowhere, and then he goes past you, and then he's taking the ball, and before you know it, he's heading for the goal. So I remember how he quickly progressed in the school team, and many times, I mean, when the school went to play with other people outside, I mean, he was one of the very few of his grade who was always asked to join the team. He would always be called off the bench and he would play in a match. I think he's very clear in his mind. He's one of these people who's very clear in his mind what he wants. And when he decides this is what I want, it's focus, total focus. And soccer is one of the things that has fallen in that category. And I think for as long as it's possible, he will always be interested in soccer and play soccer. I don't know how far he will take it, but he will definitely always not be far from a soccer field. That's for sure.
Looking ahead into the future, I definitely want to take football to the next level. I definitely want to improve physically. I definitely want to get better and do a lot more in the gym, on the field, just round out my game even more, to take me to the next level and see how far I can go there. In terms of school, I plan on focusing solely on a pathway in the business field that allows me the opportunity maybe to venture into something football related. My love for the game, I think, drives more than anything else, and so the best thing for me would probably be to line it up with business somehow and forge a career out of it. And you best believe once I'm able to do that, everything is all right up here.